I guess start off with you're playing a 7'6" guy. You don't see that every day.
I'm not.
You personally,
That would be funny.
yeah. How do you deal with that? I mean,
We're going to stand a guy on a stool in practice and try to shoot over him. I've actually thought about that. There's no way to simulate it in practice. That's the issue. I think that last year it threw us off in the first half, no doubt about it. The second half, I thought our guys adjusted a little bit, but I know Gary in particular looked like he was in shock a few times when he went to make what he would make a normal move, and to no avail against Taco. So I think it's just it's until they get out there and they see him. I don't think there's anything I can do.
Is he a bigger problem on offense or defense?
He's much improved on offense, and I would say he throws you off on defense. On offense, if he catches it close to the basket, he's going to dunk it. So, I don't think that'll be quite as big of a difference for the guys. It's just it doesn't change the way you play defensively. I mean, if he gets one, he gets one. It's just what it's going to be. I think he's more disconcerting with his defense, but he has really improved his offense.
Is he just improved overall?
Yeah, definitely. But you got to remember too. I think last year he didn't get cleared eligibility-wise till late in the game. In fact, I don't even think he played in their first few games because he hadn't been cleared yet. So I think having the off season to get in shape and train with the team's been.
Besides him, they're an outstanding defensive team.
They're just big in general. Yeah. Their point guard's the biggest point guard in our league, physically, strength-wise. They're older. From Williams is a fifth-year senior. Davis is older. Other than Taco, they're an older team. And they're just big. They're big on the wing. They're big at every position, and they're strong physically at every position. So they give up very few baskets around the rim, and then I think they're older, so they're tough. Older teams tend to have a lot more toughness, make less mistakes. I think they look extremely organized defensively this year with what they're trying to accomplish on the defensive end. I think that having Taco all year is they just seem to really know what they're doing when he's in, and then when he's out, they play a little differently, but they seem to be in sync with that as well.
they're much better this year, obviously. What's
yeah.
the overall difference that you've seen?
Well, you got to give Johnny Dawkins credit. Obviously Donnie left him some veteran guys, but you got to coach them. So I think you got to give their coaching staff credit. I think it was, Matt Williams had transferred. He announced he was going to Wake Forest as a fifth-year transfer. Huge for them that he stayed, obviously. Huge for their program. So Taylor didn't play last year. He was injured. So that's he's an excellent point guard. He was on his way to really being a problem when he got hurt. He had some injuries his freshman year, and he was out last year. So no shock that he's playing well. We all knew how good he was when Central Florida signed him. So again, just personnel. Davis is a very good player. We recruited Afani. We didn't offer him at the end of the day, but I went to Daytona Beach to see him play. And he's a big, strong wing. Another senior, a veteran guy. So the surprise for their team to me has been Brown off the bench. He didn't play at all last year. He's had a really, really good year for them. They picked up Banyards, another fifth-year guy. So just a veteran team that has a really good coach, and they don't make a lot of mistakes. They play at a slow pace that's comfortable to them, probably suits their size. I think that'll be a key to the game. You know, they need a low-scoring game, I would say.
You moved up to 11th in the polls this week. I don't know. I usually know what your answer is going to be on that, but what does that mean to you?
To me, great for our fans. You know, great for the students, exciting for everybody. Means nothing really, though, at the end of the day. But you know, it all helps, I guess. I don't get too caught up in it because I would get too irritated if I really looked at like some of the teams and you know who people play and why we weren't ranked 11th a month ago, to be really honest about it. So I try to just block it out.
Coach, you're number 1 in 2-point defense, but number 96 in 3-point defense. So what are the reasons for each?
Well, teams shoot a lot more layups. So our belief is no layups, no free throws, no fouls. Your best players stay on the floor. You're going to have a better chance of winning. And then do as good a job as you can at the three-point line. We were doing a much better job a few weeks ago. Our stats have gone down at the three-point line. Trayvon Blewett had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, right.
So
Matt
you know,
Williams coming up, obviously that's a concern.
yeah, but I'm just a believer in the law of averages. It's all going to even out at the end of the day. Some teams shot poorly against us, and somebody's going to get hot against you. It is.
So there's nothing on film you saw that
Nah.
really okay.
Blewett hit some really tough shots.
There's a nice here. He looks like he's moving pretty well. Is he going to be available?
Sitting down.
Oh.
He was.
I wouldn't think he would play tomorrow, no. I wouldn't think so. But I never speak in absolutes.
For all the attributes you just listed for Central Florida, they lost 4 of their last 5. What's been their problem?
Like the schedule hit them. Yeah, schedule hit them. You know, they had a real big shot to beat SMU. They had some crucial turnovers late in that game. That would have been a huge win for them. So, you know, on the road at Memphis. But they played great the other day. You know, they could have very easily won at Tulsa. They controlled most of the game. Could have easily beat SMU. So, schedule's a little, you know, sometimes it's who you're playing and where you're playing them. But they played great at home the other day. And they opened up the game up, I think 15-0 against Memphis, and it was never close. They really played great.
You talked about the low numbers of deflection in the other game. I guess it depends. It differs from coach to coach. Is that something your Patino talked a lot about deflection games? Is that something that you focus on him, or it's just always something that?
For us, it's 40, and it's almost sure proof that if we get 40 deflections, we're going to win. The best way I can give it to you is you can't get a piece of the ball if you're not trying to. So rebounding and deflections for us are hustle stats. And we're undefeated this year when we win our hustle stats. So I would add rebounding to my concerns. Rebounding and deflections for us. I think I believe that we're going to win games if we get close to 40 deflections and we win the rebounding battle. I like our chances, and I don't care who we play.
How do you keep the guys hungry? You've had good success so far.
It's not easy. I think you got to make sure guys stay focused. I don't think it's as much you as your opponent when you start talking about, you know, who's hungrier. I think sometimes your opponent may be more desperate in theoretically looking at their position. So like Central Florida, they get 15 wins. They get a chance to beat us twice, puts them in the NCAA tournament. So you have to understand what you're dealing with. But each game is unique. But I do think it's a big factor. I'm a big believer in that. And you got to make sure that you stay hungry at all times.